Okay.
So
position 4 puck.
A position 4 puck. We've seen some teams do this before.
So
And Moo playing the core offlane Venge. We'll see if they do swap, which they may do so, but at the moment, that's it. That is how it is. We're seeing some Z-Freak puck position 4 shenanigans. Moo's playing Venge. They'll probably do some sort of dual lanes. You imagine probably Moo going to the bottom lane, maybe with Kyle having that Jakiro Venge pressure that they can put on at the start and try and bully Mace in the lane. But DC may go aggressive with their own and try and dodge that and try and get the upper hand at the laning stage. We'll see.
All right. Lumi, you're up first. Who do you think is going to take this first game?
I feel like the draft is really hard to read because you have players playing really weird position like the Z-Freak puck. But I like Complexity's draft simply because everybody's got a stun. So when the chaotic gets going, 5 stuns is pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Complexity for Lumi. What do you think, Owen?
I think that I've got to go. I'm going to go with DC actually. I know. I'm looking forward to it because I know Complexity are going to do some free puck and such, but you know, we saw Mason. I think he's stepping it up. He played a very good Tiny, sort of doing the same way that Arteezy played Tiny. Now he's playing the Gyro that we saw Arteezy play. You know, these two, I think they're very sort of similar players.
I'm going for Complexity, by the way.
Oh, wow.
But we're going to find out who gets the upper hand in this best of 3 lower bracket. Over to Grant and Capitalist.
What up? How's it going, guys? How's it going, Cap, man? It's been a while since we cast together, and what a great game to do it for. Cole and DC.
Yeah, when did we cast last?
I don't know. I think it was
something,
or I remember we cast some NA games, but
all right, get ready, Grant. I hope your play-by-play is prepared for this.
Oh, I'm ready. We do have the 5 stuns. I mean, DC has to know something's up. Look at Quoikva's actually going to catch him out here. That smoke, and he's just going to run away. Is that going to be it? They have the Treants tanking up, and looks like I don't have to get ready quite yet. Nice scouting out there. Actually, on the other side, just Treant's going to run at him, maybe block him out. Do they want to fight this Z-Freak puck? He's down. Okay, they're going to farm these up. Interesting. Now they're going to get a stun over there. They're going to stun up MSS. I don't know why they were chasing. Looks like they're going to get him. Grave comes out. Now Chessie, ton of trouble, as well as Kyle. Another stun from Venge, but Chessie looks like he's going to die first. Mason just running around with flat cannon. Looks like they're going to find Z-Freak. Nope, he will downhill. Nice double stun by Limp on Demon as well as Quoikva, but now they're in a little bit of trouble themselves. And looks like it's going to end at a 1-0 for DC with Grave skilled first.
And they're going to be able to get the potential. Okay, looks like Complexity are going to be able to get 3 runes.
But Bulba does bait out that stun, and Limp's almost out of mana there without a Clarity middle. That's pretty bad as Alina middle.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bait by DC. Like just going, okay, we're going to pick up Shallow Grave, just put someone on the front line to kind of bait Complexity into turning and looking for that first blood. And then just the big turnaround where they're able to get first blood themselves. I think this this lineup, to talk about Complexity's lineup, it's pretty interesting. For me, the last pick, the only thing I was really assured was that Lina was going to be the core. I really think this last pick, once again from Complexity, solves a lot of issues for them. It gives them a good matchup versus the Death Prophet mid, and a lot of burst damage against both the Death Prophet, which is important, and a hunting hero against the Furion.
Oh, bottom lane, actually. If Bulba gets some body blocks, this could very well be a kill. And it looks like he will. Can he get under there? Nope. MSS himself doing it. Nice stun under the tower, but unfortunately, Bulba's not taking it. And look at this. Kyle in trouble now, too, but Jakiro, 700 HP, no stat items.
MSS, man. Great body blocks with the Treants. Really well done.
Bulba set him up, and then he finished it off. And Z-Freak middle, Orb of Venom first puck, just harassing out Quoikva. What's like, I mean, maybe you don't even know, I don't know. What do you get accomplished as a support puck?
I am presuming just harassment.
No, I mean, the last time I remember seeing it was crit, so another NA player, and they won the game, but I was like, what did this puck do?
Yeah, what did it
that
do
another
for
hero
you?
Wouldn't do, you know? I guess just shake up the draft a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can be a little bit more liberal with your 4 positions now because the ease at which you're able to pick up bounty runes one after the other really helps you gain levels as a 4 position roaming around. So as long as Z-Freak does manage to get his levels and gets a Blink Dagger, you essentially think like everything that you would accomplish as a core, most of it's going to be accomplished as a support. But in the early game, you're obviously going to be pretty questionable.
Bottom lane, Bulba could be in a little bit of trouble. The rune is taken by Chessie. Do we have anything? Just body blocks from Kyle. Chessie hitting him up, and Kyle with that last right click will pick him up. Z-Freak, on the other hand, is fighting Demon one-on-one. Oh, it's going to be Grave versus Spaceship.
Oh no, he doesn't dodge it.
Demon takes him down, and Bulba says, I'll take a little bit of that experience as well.
And they're going to go and take away the bounty runes. So The other thing to think about for Complexity's lineup is the off-lane Venge compared to the support Jakiro and what they would accomplish if their roles were reversed. Because the Jakiro, I think, is probably the more common sense offlaner, but I do think Jakiro does a lot more for you in this lane, right? Eventual Spirit as the support would do nothing against the
top
Fury.
lane as well. Mason getting stunned up. Z-Freak will slow him down a little bit. That Aura of Venom. He's trying to get the body block. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Z-Freak needs like 2 or 3 more hits here. Won't get it. If he got that body block, could have been the kill. Yeah.
The Orb of Venom is a good choice for this support Puck. Does add a lot to your harassment value, because one of the best things about Puck is him being able to trade against range heroes fairly well.
And look at that. They just wave of terror. Z-Freak just hits him, harass him down a decent chunk. Middle getting pinged out. I mean, Lina is a super gankable hero early game. And no ward scouting Bulba out. He's going to be running in here, level 2. Not yet. He does have boots as well as Windlace plus sprint, so he moves quick. Unfortunately, Limp's doing a good job right-clicking Koikva, bringing the creep wave back in his favor.
I think Koikva has to get the slow off first, and there he goes.
There it is. Will that be enough? Limp get a run in. He's getting the stun off. Nicely
beautiful.
done. And now Bulba. Oh, guess who's here, though? MSS, but unfortunately, he blocks him out with the Sprout. And, well, Limp will just scurry on away.
I'm not sure if MSS... obviously, if he was in a better position, it would have been better to throw the Sprout in front of the Lina and completely block out that path. But I don't think he was actually had the range to be able to do so.
This, I mean, already the levels coming up. The Radiant Kyle's almost level 4, while Slardar as well as Dazzle only level 2. I guess that obviously takes a little bit away from Sven, but Sven just wants items, right? You know, you get Brown Boots, Mask of Madness, you farm up plenty in the late game. You just want that gold.
And you do have a lineup that's going to create a lot of space for you, especially since the Vengeful Spirit core is doing very well. They're spending so much time in the Slardar trying to put pressure on mid and as well as bottom lane and enable the Furion, that Venge is oftentimes getting a 1v1, or in this case, even a 2v2. So he's doing pretty well, and as long as he gets some okay farm, he's going to turn into a nice fighting core for Complexity, creating space for the Sven.
Top lane, we see fake TPs coming out of MSS, and just having that global presence, though. DC probably happy that Cole doesn't really have anything like that besides Z-Freak just moving around with the TP scroll. And Rocket will fly on Boo, more than likely not going to do anything. Now that you can run away from the Rocket and not take 500 damage, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a bit of a shift in both ways, right? Yep. Another attempt at mid, but spotted out.
Yeah, Limp doing a good job. Even without they don't really have a ward. They have one up aggressively by the Dire Shrine, but and they have one to the left in the river, but it's not like he really sees Bulba. Bottom lane, they're going in on MSS. He is level 5, trying to cleave him down. They're just farming up the tower at the same time. And Bulba's here now. Says hello. So that will be the end of that skirmish. But yeah, that's the problem. If you leave bottom alone, Jakiro, they can easily get a kill, easily push that tower in.
One thing they're not doing too much of is stacking the Ancients yet for the Sven.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They can take their time. Like, Limp can occasionally stack his own Ancient camp since he is such close proximity on the Radiant side. I would suggest that's something that he could look to. But the focus for Complexity has mostly been securing these lanes right now.
And Koikva going a little on Limp. Are we going to see a TP from MSS? Doesn't look like it. They'll just run away. Yeah, both teams, right? Because you have a Gyro on the other side, and nothing's really getting stacked up over there either.
I really like this build from Moo, by the way. This very stat-heavy build on the Vengeful Spirit, really capitalizing on the early damage, and gives you a significant amount of HP as well, with the double the Wraith Bands as well as the Magic Wand.
HP and armor, right? 9 armor on the Venge with double Wraith and Wand.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a Vengeful Spirit that, again, can fight really well. I'm very surprised. I'm not sure if DC could put more pressure on the Venge if they had to redo this whole entire laning phase, if they would change that and try and shut her out early. I'm not sure how that would work.
But we do see DC is up 3-1. They have about a 500 gold lead. They're doing decently, but you do have to worry. That offlane Venge, I mean, she hits one of those things. You just get level 7, go to a lane, that minus armor. You just win a team fight so easily. And I think Cole, honestly, out of the 4 teams we see in this tournament, are the best at just team fighting in general.
Yeah, they're super good at being able to coordinate make their rotations.
Here we go, middle and Limp. Uh-oh, that's going to be a 3-man gank. Bulba's actually looking for TPs. He does see the Jakiros coming. Limp will just go down, gets Lagoon off. MSS a little bit of trouble, but Bulba gets that stun on Kyle. Nice Ice Path. Moo is now here. Body blocks by MSS's Treant. Oh, nicely done by him. Double suck coming out of... Will Kyle get away? Looks like they're going to go for Moo instead. He will go, but MSS dies to Z-Freak on the back line. So it's a 2-for-1. DC wins that fight. Luckily, Z-Freak gets a little bit out of it, but they're going to lose a tier 1 too. They have the Siege unit plus Ghost still alive.
It's just, I was saying, Complexity are really good at making proper rotations to set up team fights. DC are the ones to actually do that, and that's all because of in part, the Furion. They're just able to bring the extra numbers to that mid-fight, and Complexity forced to TP rotate is just too much of delay.
Bottom lane though, Chessie, hey, he gets a tower. He's happy. His team may not be as happy as he is, but he'll take it. But look at that. Nice stun from Chessie, but oh, they're going to hold him in. So much damage going. They hit the war cry off, so he's going to tank up a little bit. Kyle's here, maybe trying to save him, but once that war cry ends, he is going to be in the world of hurt, and unfortunately, he will just die here. Mason gets the kill, and nice rotation over. Chessie does get the tower, though. Probably not the best trade for him, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Man, look at this. I really don't think that Z-Freak has really accomplished a whole lot big in this laning phase, but he's still level 5. And again, that's what I would go back to is the bounty rune presence. So he's going to be able to get his level 6 by 10 minutes, because even if he doesn't get it, he'll have the tome available to him. So then we'll start feeling the effect of this support, because before, like, he really just can't match this Slardar in this laning phase and what he can do, right? Like, a puck rotates mid on a Death Prophet, nothing's going to happen. But a Slardar rotates on Alina, that's going to be a potential kill. So the puck, they're going to have this turnaround point where the puck may be a bigger factor than the Slardar once he has that ultimate.
Yep. And we do see he is level 5. That has to come because he solo killed MSS on the back end of that fight. Probably got a huge chunk of experience from the level 6 Furion.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, man, this DC, this whole thing of how they made into the losers bracket right here reminds me of right during the TI qualifiers. They looked terrible for 3 days, right? But they made it to the playoff bracket. And didn't they win 3 series, 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 in a row? Just takes one good day and they're there again. But bottom lane, Rocket is on to Kyle here. Looks like I think Kyle's just dead here. They're going to 4-man rotate down. Kyle goes down. And this should be possibly a tower as well. They don't really have creeps, but they do have the little treants with them from MSS.
DC are, again, playing this very well. It's the big difference, right? 2 big differences. One, you have the Furion, who's always going to give you the mobility and numbers advantage when you go for these kind of rotations. And 2, the Gyrocopter comes online a lot faster. And as we saw EG in the way they use the Gyrocopter, grouping up very early, rotating to other lanes, while Complexity a lot more static with their Sven, who's going to be focusing on farming. So DC, you're going to look at it, they are going to be up in kills by quite a lot. They're going to be look like they're winning the game handedly, but this is the pace of game that's supposed to be happening with the difference in these 2 drafts.
Yeah, and look at this. They're just going to pressure 2-2. They know Venge is sitting up top. He's scared to push that tier 1 because they're playing out of vision. And man, this is going to be an extremely free tier 2 tower at 10 minutes in. And that's going to open up the, like Sven, right? That kind of hurts Sven's farming now. They have to be so worried about DC invading their jungle all the time.
Yeah, it was the loss of that mid tower that really affects him too, because that loosens the hold that Complexity have over the ancient camps. And those are the most important part of farming for a Sven.
And we already see DC has 2 deep wards in the jungle.
Look at him. They're taking out the ancient stack right now on DC.
On Mason. Mason's happy with it. He's ult mid. All right. Can't wait to do 40 damage to those creeps. He does. No flat cannon, so just slowly do it up top. Cole's just roaming around his form. Man, is it a DC thing? Because it really feels like DC slows down the game in a good way. They 5-man but farm together. And look at Cole's forced to 4-man top. They smoke. But nothing's really happening with all this, but it could now. MSS, no, he knows. He knows something's up. Treants and runs.
I'm going to take a guess here that DC, they put a lot of prevalence on not giving up any pickoffs. And that's where I think you have this sort of 5-man mentality. When you're ahead, don't let them get the opportunity for situations like this.
Done and well, it's Demon. They get a kill though. And they want to, looks like they want to take it into that tier 1 tower. Level 3 liquid fire up plus Moo.
I think they might be able to defend on DC, though, because they have the ultimate from Mason, but it's going to be a choice thing here. Do they want to take the risk of fighting that and defending that mid-tower?
And it looked, well, Mason's here at least, and he has the very heavy team fight, max flat cannon, 0 rocket barrage that It's a very NA thing. We were watching Monet actually goes like the 3-4-1 build, gets Rocket Barrage, but Artesian Mason, obviously close friends, will do the same build. But now DC, look at this. They're defending with 3 heroes here, as well as MSS pushing top. And guess what? He can get to the fight anytime he wants. So DC just making a little bit better of the map. And oh, they find Z-Free on the back line. Bulba's in deep. He has an Arcane Rune. He almost has another stun up already. Mason's here. Orb is going to fly backwards. Rocket's soaring over. But MSS, he's going to try to make him dodge this first. And oh, nicely done the Rocket. Laguna flies out. MSS dies to that Macro Pyre. And what looked like a simple kill on a puck. It's never a simple kill on a puck, Cap.
Dude, he popped that phase shift the first time, and I was like, uh-oh, doesn't that mean the Rocket's going to hit you? He barely gets it off, just like a quarter second. It comes up just as the missile's about to hit him.
And that's a pretty big kill. They needed that. MSS thought it'd be a free one, and then perfectly placed spells by Kyle.
Okay, so Chessie, I think this is pretty important. He is going to go for the Blink Dagger next item after the Mask of Madness. This means the Sven is going to come online about right now. I think you'd like to be able to have maybe level 12 just to have the extra level of God Strength, but they do know they have to stop giving up all this map to DC. They have to actually go for a team fight soon, and Chessie with the Blink Dagger, they're finally capable of doing so.
Do you like the Blink Dagger before Echo Saber?
I think that, yeah, I do think that Svens are too slow if they go for the double, like, kind of farming item.
If they're not farming, like, amazingly well.
Yeah, unless you're like, your team is winning the game 4 versus 5 and you can double down on greed, I think almost all Sven's game, you have to go Blink Dagger second.
And Moo, taking that -1 wave of Terror Armor, that just shows they want to fight with the Sven. That one armor makes a ton of difference.
You don't keep transformations in your Vengeful Spirit form, right?
I don't believe, like...
Well, Sven's not going to have God Strength or anything.
When that happens, I do not believe so.
Okay. But still, it is going to be...
Bulba actually already has a Blink there. 14 minutes in, they go on... He gets Warcraft. He pops his ulti. Bulba is just going to go down here. Kyle says, I'll take that. Liquid fires him, gets the kill, and they're just going to push in middle. And that was... Bulba, I mean, nice Blink Dagger timing, but unfortunately,
but
doesn't
maybe
pay
not
off.
the time to use that Blink Dagger.
Not timing on the timer. Yeah, that was. Oh, you blink uphill into a Sven when you only have one person there. That is a very interesting play.
And yeah, maybe if they just had one more hero, right? Yeah, well,
I guess MSS, but
yeah, he was thinking, maybe we'll have Furion come in with the call down and everything. But if this Sven does get off his God Strength, he just becomes too tanky. Even to the magic damage from the gyro. And again, this is a gyro that won't have a ton of magic damage because only level 1 of Rocket Barrage. So just the call down that comes into play.
Oh, and this is a 3 Mask of Madness game. We have Moo getting one. You already have Sven with one, and gyro as well. Remember that item was just completely off the map, what, like a year or 2 ago?
Yeah.
No one picked it up, and now, I mean, it's pretty much a must-have for any team fight or even farmer.
It seems like there's always these sort of early to mid game farming items that are always going to be kind of the craze for all these cores. Once upon a time, it was Vlad's, right? Just because it gave you the sustain and okay stats. Now it's going to be Mask of Madness. Same sort of item. It just gives you the sustain and farming power.
There we go, top lane. Quakefa, they'd love to take this tower without having to pop Ghost, maybe even go for a tier 2. We see DC, they love taking one tower, going right to the next. It doesn't seem like Cole really wants to set up, but luckily enough for them, DC is just backing out instead. And no, I lied. Quakefa is just going to the side shop to buy some stuff, and there we go. They are going for this tier 2, and I don't think Cole can do anything about this. They're just not going to rotate at all.
I don't think they should. Contesting tier 2s is notoriously hard, and DC would already be set up for the team fight anyway. You lose that fight, then they're going high ground with Quakefa popping so you can only go for the play in defending tier 3 at this point.
This is going to be some decent damage on the tower alone, even with just that Siege Unit and Treants. Well, Lim does a good job nuking him down, but Siege Unit hasn't missed yet. Nice damage there.
DC is just forced most of complexity back to the base. They know that. Now it's just a question of what are they going to do with that? What kind of, like, map control are they going to look to take? Are they going to push down maybe into the Radiant jungle? This is about the time where you're going to see big smoke plays, I think, because everyone has their items to play, right? You've got Blink on the Sven. Roshan is a big objective that either team could do pretty easily, and Initiation is everything for both of these teams.
And like 1 second after you said that, I don't know if it's a big smoke play yet, Cap, but it is a smoke play from Cole. And they're just going to sit behind Moo right now.
Oh, DC, I think DC know that this is a potential smoke timing, the way they're playing together like this.
And he does have the Yules. Can they bring him down quick enough? Probably not. Oh, they can. What an ice path by Kyle. Bulba blinks forward, only hits on the puck. Chessie just running around the back. Oh my goodness. Chunks down Bulba easily.
Oh, the swap back too.
Over there, Demon gets the grave. Unfortunately, Moo is going to be picking you off no matter what. Kyle actually will get that kill, and they're just going to push uphill now. You have a level 2 aura on this Venge. You got the Aquila. You still have God Strength on, and it just goes off now, but gracious. That's our Rax coming at 17 minutes out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, right? Is that you make a smoke plate like that, you get a pickoff, it's Roshan. You get a good team fight, it's push high ground.
Yeah, am I missing something? This was a friggin' 18-minute Rax out of... I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's just fence.
It's crazy. Just like that. That's the melee Rax as well. And look at this just a 2-stack, but still, they will steal it. And that is a lot of DC's farm. Mason, I mean, he's farmed. But it doesn't feel like he can't man fight. Even with Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yashi only has 1,500 life. Like, that kills him.
Yeah, really big problem is that Sven beats out all 3 of these cores in like team fights because they're all pretty fragile, damage-heavy cores. So Sven gets on top of them. All of them are threats.
This seems like a very aggressive play, and they know it's happening. Bulba does go forward onto Moo. He's level 12. We do see an Ice Path coming, hits on 2 of them. Looks like they just want to get back, waste these ultimates. Koikva wants to go in if they can just get out of there with only Kyle. But wait, Limp wants to go in. Mason, if he Lagoon and Mason instead, they do bring Koikva down as well as Mason. Well played's coming out. Bulba trying to run away. Chessie is just killing everyone. Has Blink up in 4, or they're just going to check Roche.
That big swipe from Chessie, bringing down both the Death Prophet and the Gyrocopter.
Oh my goodness. Chessie and Limp. Look at this, the 4 brothers in there. Moo, the only one to fall without a partner. And they're just going to take a Roche now. Well, look to be a nice aggressive play. Kyle has been on point. These Ice Path, he zoned them out, completely hit 3 of them, all the treants. He's played so well.
Look at that, back over to that mid-fight where they had this setup where they instantly killed a Death Prophet. And that's the problem. DP is so well countered by the fact that both Sven and Lena are really good at being able to just burst you down.
Like you said, that nice swap on Demon. If they still had that Grave, maybe Mason plus Grave could have defended that Rax, but quick heads-up play by Moo. Now, I mean, what do we got? Sven, he doesn't even want Echo Saber. He says, I'm skipping it. He goes full Sanjin Yasha and brings it out. Why Sanjin Yasha over Echo Saber? You just want a more sustained fighting, more usefulness with God Strength down?
I think it's a couple things. The movement speed combined with the slow of SNY gives you a lot more chasing power against 2 very fast heroes in Death Prophet as well as the Gyrocopter. Tanks him up a bit more, I think, than the Echo Saber would. And you're also dealing with shallow graves, so bursting down someone may not actually be what happens, right? Like you thinking, oh, if I just get 1, 2, 3 hits, then the hero's gonna be super low, I can finish him off. But then shallow grave comes into play, 5 seconds that allows a gyro or DP to do whatever they want. Can change the fight significantly.
Once we see the DP, Yules, Hood, where do you want to go on this hero now? It feels like this hero, once you get these items, do you go BKB? Do you go just Octarine next? It's hard to farm on this hero when you're from behind too.
Hey, it's pretty tough. Like even a Ghost Scepter would be like a worthy item against this Sven right now, but then he leaves himself open to Laguna Blade. So
they're just
the biggest thing that needs to change is not necessarily an item for DC, but an initiation. They cannot afford to be jumped on by complexity, but Cole will always have an initiation advantage because mid lane's constantly pushing in. They're going to have better aggressive wards than you, and they have multiple sources of initiation as well between Chessie, Moo, as well as Z-Freak. All 3 of them can find the opening in a team fight.
That thing with Chessie's double damage, they actually kill the shrine, so no crazy wonky plays hit him with that their own complexity wraparound. They're just gonna push it. Lift is down now. Chessie has popped his ultimate and he is just chunking this tower. So can't blink dodge the rocket unless the team kills it. They do not. Bottom or top lane, MSS is just pushing in himself, but I don't know. Will it be good enough? Chessie's just gonna take this Rax down. War cries up. Ulti will fly from Mason to scare him back a little bit. MSS will get a tier 3 top. Are we going to see a jump in from anyone?
If they're going to fight, it should be soon with God's Strength down for 50 seconds.
And they know, obviously, they saw the weave go up. They're like, we cannot find this. Limp, oh no, barely misses. And now Slarter's in trouble, actually. Bulba just goes down instantly. Kyle with another nice ice path, zones him out, and he might be the one to die here. No TP, I mean, he's dying. He's just going to bait him away from the rest of his team.
Yeah.
And he will get some extra damage off. So it's a tier 3 for tier 3 when one Rax is already, oh, the siege unit. It gets the last hit, and Melee Barracks goes down. I love siege units. God bless them.
Man, that was so close to being exactly the fight that DC needed to take. Strategically speaking, they played that out correctly, right? We just go for the split push, wait till God's Strength is down, then we force the fight as they're trying to retreat and defend top lane. So if they actually caught Limp with a stun from the Slardar, then boom, they get a really good team fight. They get an important core trade-off, most importantly, and then they also get the advantage in the split push as well.
But now, actually, the ranged barracks does fall middle as well to the creeps, and they killed most of the extra buildings and even some damage on those tier 4s. No more regen, Cap. How do you feel about that change?
I know how you feel about that change.
Yeah, but I asked you, Cap.
I think it was okay.
Well, okay, what? Why do you think the regen would be good?
I was not the biggest opponent of buffing teams that are left against Megas. And that's what a tier 4 regen buff does, right? It gives you better opportunity to be able to win the game against Megas. So I was not totally opposed to that, but it did become a little obnoxious.
Yeah. Oh, and BKB popped up. Well, not popped yet, but Gyro does have it. Unfortunately, Chesty is just melting down their towers. They're going to go forward. Rock does hit. They're doing a lot of damage. He still has the Aegis, so Mason pops the BKB, trying to flat can him down. There's so much armor, though. Chesty does go down. Z-Freak still alive. He's hiding in the trees. Doesn't have any spells up yet. Limp does kill the tower. And Quoikva, that Sven illusion. Apparently, when you die with Aegis, still comes out from the Vengeful. Does a ton of damage. Nice stun by Limp. Swap back comes on Bulba. He should die here. He does. It's a 1-for-0 trade right now. Mason just 1v1 fighting. Nice silence by Quoikva on the 3 of them. He's taking down the Lina. Now he's going to go for Kyle. Can they get away? They're just trying to run. Chesty gets thrown up into the air. He does have Blink, but unfortunately goes on cooldown. But they just turn on him. But Demon, nice grave. They're going to chase down Chesty. Nice stun coming out from Limp, saving his brother. Mason coming. Laguna flies. Quoikva drops. And now Kyle, he has a drums of his own. He's going to speed his team up. Nice ice path, hits on Demon, and unfortunately, he does not have mana for the grave. He should go down here easily.
Check out bottom lane, though. But MSS is about to take a melee Rax.
Is he, though?
Is he, or not?
Unfortunately, it is a melee Rax, and those will heal up.
Yeah, he's not able to finish it off, so they have to go to defending.
And Limp's here. He has a 4-step, though. Oh, no, and Demon could just, or Bulba could go down again. Grave comes out. Moo, 4-step forward from himself. Hurricane, take pardon, and he will survive. Rocket will be flying all that way. But they're going to continue chasing. They know where Kyle and Limp are. They're going to go. Kyle just run back in. No, they smoke up to get that extra move speed. I like it. But unfortunately, Bulba's here. He finds Limp, tosses him up, minus armor, gets orchided. MSS could be in trouble too, but the suicide comes out, doesn't heal Kyle because Bloodstone unfortunately doesn't do that anymore. And there you go. DC does technically win a fight. Whoa, MSS though.
The rage creep? Get him, rage creep! Get him!
Oh, that weave. The weave gave him such armor, couldn't quite do it. I'm surprised Z-Freak as a position for support. I'm actually surprised he didn't just suicide for it.
Yeah.
With the 1-for-1 trade, maybe. But still, Cole, I would say technically winning that fight doesn't have to expend buybacks, gets to tier 3, and the Rax doesn't fall bottom. If the Rax fell, DC was happy with that.
The Furion offlane is both simultaneously losing them team fights because they don't have extra catch, right? They, like, as Slarter jumps, they pop Exorcism, heroes just run away, and they don't have any follow-up to really make sure the heroes stay on complexity. They stand and fight against the Exorcism, so they just run away. But at the same time, it is winning them the game because it's giving them all this split pushing and opportunity to be able to make successful trade-offs. So MSS, the game is entirely resting on his shoulders right now.
Kind of like that game Complexity actually lost yesterday, right? When it was Z-Freak pushing in towers. They ended up winning the series, but it felt like it was all on him. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. But Chesty, the big items here. He's level 18 with a BKB, fresh 10 seconds. And it feels like one fight one with a BKB where you just chop Mason down could definitely be the end.
Yeah, pushing into the high ground without BKB was acceptable only because they had Aegis.
Oh my goodness. Lina just bought a Desolator. full Deso after 4-step. Doesn't even go the Hurricane Pike.
Okay.
Interesting. What? I mean, I understand like why you get to Desolator, but that feels a little glass cannon-y on Alina.
Yeah, it does. At the same time, though, you've won the game if you can actually take objectives faster than the Furion, right? You just get the Megas. You still have a tier 2 up in mid lane.
Full
That's
HP
the biggest.
as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest advantage Complexity have right now is that they can completely ignore the impact of the Furion if they get Megas, because there's no chance a Furion can go through that mid lane.
Since we see these Treants trying to take down Shrines, like you said, MSS doing a lot by himself while his team tries to find pickoffs elsewhere. And it's going to be a Sheep Stick on the Nature's Prophet next. Still has a bit to go. Roshan will respawn in 130. We might see the next big fight. Oh, Limp. All right. Bottled up that Arcane Rune. That's huge. You fiery Soul Stags, you will never lose those during a team fight.
Yeah, you just throw out spell after spell.
Doesn't even matter where you throw them at.
Yeah. With the physical damage upgrade that he's got, right clicks do quite a lot. Also enabling the Sven.
This guy on the 4 position, he's 10,000 now, has Boots of Travel. Now MSS, so much harder for him to split push against that. It's a Blink, Eul's Veil, Boots of Travel. Z-Freak understands. He's so greedy, but at the same time, he just always in the right spot, right time. And now bottom lane. Could be something happening here. Another smoke from DC. This might be their last one. They've been popping smokes quite a bit, and they're pinging out middle, actually. Limp and Kyle are there. They're moving over. We do see the weave coming out. Armor stacking high. Oh, Limp.
Oh,
he was
so
running up
close.
that hill. He's like, maybe not. I'll go over this way. And he's actually stacking Fiery Soul, and they're not going to find anyone. Weave's about to wear off here in about 5 seconds.
They really needed this. So DC recognized the place that they're in. Split push can't win them the game. So they had to get a fight outside of the base, especially with the Roshan timer. Like, Roshan could spawn at any time right now. So they know they need to be able to contest Roshan. They have to get a fight outside of their base. Unfortunately, the smoke just doesn't land. They don't get an opportunity for a pickoff.
Yeah, and it looked like Limp was going to run up that hill, and then at the last second, he's like, I'm good. That other hill looks cooler to run up, and he does. And now they're just going to go for this. Will Bulba try to initiate? No. Chessie actually goes back himself.
If you're Cole, you don't take the risk of pushing high ground, because if you lose that fight, you give up Roshan. All you do is threaten like you're going to go high ground, force DC back inside their base, giving you control of the Roshan area.
And all the meanwhile, Puck can just farm up all these treants. MSS, it's just Z freaking MSS eating farm while the other 4 kind of run around. And oh my goodness, that is a extremely quick Roshan. The medallion as well as Wave of Terror plus Desolator.
Yeah, that's
my god.
Armor.
And there we go. Now Lina, very right-clicky, yep. Obviously, it was a little bit better for Lina's when it was that 25 with the ×3, or you know what I'm saying, the 3 extra stacks of a little more, but Lina's still quite the right clicker.
Chessie took a little while before he finally picked up his talent. I don't think there's any way. This is a Dispel game from the Stormhammer, unless he really hated Bulba, you know? And he was just like, I want to take away his sprint too.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, just get rid of him. But he will take the...
I think the only time that the Dispel is a thing is like if you're Sven versus Omni Knight, or I don't know, I'm struggling to even think of another hero that warrants that over the lifesteal.
I mean, Dispel, I mean, not bad versus Weave, right?
Okay,
sure. Weave off, right?
Yeah.
Not terrible, but he obviously already took the lifesteal, so, I mean, he pops that BKB, doesn't even need the Satanic, has the Mask of Madness as well as that now. They're going in, Moo, Shadow Bladed up, there's a Sentry down though, they already see him, and he's just swinging. He is swinging on that melee, they're gonna go back, there's still 2 people sitting bottom. Bulba actually is waiting for Z-Freak, Glyph does fly, Rocket will dink him in the head. Mason, Black Canning and trying to slow him down. Look at this, he doesn't care. He gets the BKB off and see you later. Melee Rax goes down. They're moving forward. Moo just right clicks and look at that damage coming out Limp. But that's that. They take a full set of racks and I don't think they're gonna get punished at all. Not even Kyle's gonna die.
Bulba might catch somebody, but it's just too far.
Now he can. He was like, oh, maybe I can get Chessie, and then Limp shows up. That would have not have been a pleasant surprise for him. MSS is actually... Kyle's gonna be... Wait, Kyle just lost his smoke. I wonder if he noticed top. Well, he did. He's like, wait a minute, what the hell? Why did I lose a smoke over here? And Kyle's just gonna TP. He has a gem now. as DC, Cap, you're now the coach of DC. You're in their ears. What do you tell them to get back into this?
Prepare for Megas, boys.
Prepare for. I mean, they have a gyro.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Medusa, it's probably the best.
Guaranteed. Almost no matter how this game goes, Megas is going to be achieved by complexity. But DC, very slim possibility, but they could win against it anyway.
That is the one good thing. Gyro
Super
Medusa, very good against those Megas, but
you need some like. You have to push for some Divine Rapier Gyrocopter sort of situations, you know? This is kind of cool, though.
Ooh, DC, they might try to go for an early engagement here. They wouldn't expect it. They have a full weave almost on him right now. And there's a rocket on him. Oh, Chessie. Oh, my God. The double stun comes out. What a play by Z-Freak. Mason pops BKB. He might have just also popped the loss. And they go in. Moo just right-clicking Quoikba. He's BKB too. The damage from Limp coming out in Chessie. They're just running him down. He's going to use himself in the air. He doesn't even have Ghost out. Doesn't even have it off cooldown. He goes down. More than likely, we might see the GG call. Kyle thinks he is. And there it is. Good game happened. My God.
Grant, out of all the ways you set up this sneaky little team fight, you're like, all right, we're going to jump out. How are we going to start this fight? Homing missile?
On a puck.
It's like literally was just like, hey, we're here, guys.
And he shows it. But, man, that was after that happened. Z-Freak's like, wait, what? And he gets the blink in, double silence, double.